Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we will be looking at the Transformers Generation Siege Refraktor team? I don't know what they called the crew. It's Reflector. They're doing their G1 Reflector colors. Here we have Spectro, Viewfinder, and Spyglass. You have no idea how long it took me to remember those guys' names. It's nuts. Anywhoomst. These two especially because they're like very similar in terms of blue. The only difference is white, green and white, yellow. Back here. They also come with Crimzeek. So you can have a little Electro Gremlin. He doesn't do a whole lot. He just kind of sits there. Looks cute. Little menacing. You have some nice red here for the eyes and the mouth. And if you kind of cover up the eyes, it kind of looks like an Ultron head. Or like a Power Rangers head. Like a Power Rangers helmet from like Dino Thunder or something. Just a little misshapen. And yeah, that's it for Crimzeek. Go bother someone else's stuff, Crimzeek. So, in terms of articulation, and we'll just do it once, and then we'll just kind of go over like the different color schemes for each of these guys. So, we'll just take Viewfinder here. We'll move Spectro and Spyglass out of the way for right now. And we'll just do a quick zoom in here. Move him back. There we go. So the head is on a ball joint. It can go... Oh no, it's... My apologies. It's on a swivel, so you can only get side to side. But due to the hinge for transformation, you can get him to look up and not a whole lot down, but that's okay. You can move the arms out so he can T-pose. Suck it, Magnus. And there we go. Now, the weird thing about the arms is that they don't bend at the shoulder. They kind of bend at this really weird angle here. And I'm not a fan of that. It just... I don't know. It looks weird to me. You know? It just looks a little weird. But, I mean, the arms are on a double hinge, so they can basically... tuck up their arms and go, don't shoot me. Don't shoot me. I don't want to die. Well, he has a giant gun here. So he can't exactly do the full... I don't like these shoulder... I do not like these shoulder panels here that they have for the reflector thing. They pop off too easily on mine. They ruin a lot of recordings, the bastards. You also kind of have a hinge here at the back for transformation, so you can kind of make it so it looks like he's walking with his arms behind his back. So that's kind of cool. Slim biscuit. Act. Stay. And then for leg articulation, he can do the splits. Ta-da! And for, he's got them ratchet heels, so he can now do the really hard splits. And man's also got a waist rotation. So yay. And just so that we get the colors out of the way, he's made mostly out of this really nice pale blue. Got like a pale powder blue, which looks really, really nice. I actually quite like it. Fortunately, the light's not picking up on this a whole lot, which is unfortunate. You got this really nice kind of green decal here. Well, not green decal, but green paint here on the chest. That looks really nice. His eyes are picked out in a red, and his face is silver. And yeah, that's basically it for the viewfinder. Next up, we have Spectro. And I like this guy. Not just because he's red, but because, like, with the way that I have the camera part on, he kind of looks like a matador. It kind of works too. Go. As I was saying, it kind of works too with the way that the cape kind of flows over his shoulder. It sucks that you can't get any outward movement because it blocks where the elbow or with the shoulder moves. So that kind of sucks. But you know, it's all right. And also something I forgot to mention. You can also kind of undersling the arm so it looks like he's his arm is literally like a machine gun. So that's kind of cool. And I think that's pretty nifty. Yeah, so just got your basic arm articulation. Really the only difference between this guy and the others is that he's black and red and silver and not blue and silver. So yeah. And finally we have this guy, who is a very nice mix of metallic blue, the base powder blue, and a really nice silver, yellow, and red on the bottom here. He's also got a flash. He's got a flasher. Yeah. I dig it. I really do. I think this guy is kind of like, he's my second favorite out of all three of them. Viewfinder being my favorite because Matador. But yeah, there's a lot to cover with this guy, so I'm just kind of, I don't mean to push quickly with it. It's just they're all basically the same bloody guy. It's just different colors. And I realize how weird that sounds considering how much I like Starscream and his numerous bloody repaints. Curse you, Hasbro. Yeah, so for comparison, because they're all the same bloody size, here he is with Blaster, and here he is with Soundwave. So yeah, I figure because they're both, or like we're reviewing the guy with a stationary alt mode, better to have the guys who also have stationary alt modes. Aside from Soundwave, but we'll get into that. Speaking of, let's get them into vehicle mode. And because this is really not that hard, I can kind of do it on camera. So you want to start with pulling these guys off. And pulling this off. And pulling this off. Oh, those all off to the sides. So, first, tuck in the head. Then you want to tuck in the arms like so. And like so. And then you want to rotate the body this way. And fold the arms in like that. That way you just kind of clear everything out of the way. And then you move. Yep. So you want to, first off, take out the pistons here and here. And that way you can collapse everything up like so. Then you just want to tab the arms in. There are little notches here on the arm. You can just tab them in right there into the side of his crotch. And that way you have landing gear. And then to complete the alt mode, you flip open the chest. You unfurl the cockpit section area here. And then you place this the shield onto there. And now the instructions tell you, want you to then place the cannon on this side of the foot, close it up. That way it locks into place. Locks into place. Come on. There we go. There. So now you have that. Like so. And then come to the back. You take this here. And you plop that in. And now you have a thruster. And then what they want you to do with the big spotlight is just stick it right here. And there you have him in his giant boat mode, or spaceship mode. And yeah, it's literally just a brick, because they can't exactly give you a transforming robot that needs 3 other guys to become what he's supposed to bloody be. So they had to give him a nothing mode, and you know what? Fair enough. I have some fun with these, so I like to imagine a pre-war version of these guys being like miners. So they would have, instead of that, it would just be a tugboat. So these would be gravity wells that would help push stuff along or grab stuff. And then this would just be like a scanner. So you could undersling it here or place it. I kind of wish that you could kind of get it in the middle here. I mean, you kind of can. So basically now he's like he's the scanner of the group. You know, takes a look around. And then because they have a cuboid shape for the actually we'll get into the cuboid right now, because why not? So you just untab the arms here, take off this once this, and throw this back up. Now you want to rotate the legs at the shins here, or just below the waist here. And then you want to wait a minute. Ah, that's right. Leave these here. Yeah, no, I want. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, took me. I forgot what I was doing for a second. So you just want to collapse all these up. Collapse and collapse. There we are. There we are. And here you have him in his cube mode. He's a cube. Power of the cube. Power of the cube. And what I like to do is I like to take this. Oh, right. You can't. So I take this and I would attach all the guns on the bottom to make the tripod, and then I'd basically make this like a driller platform. I don't have like all the stuff with me, unfortunately, but yeah, it would just be like a really tiny drill bit on the end, but it would work. And that's just kind of how I would, you know, have pre-war. These guys are miners. They have, you know, they have drills. Their alt modes are really nothing until you add the extra stuff on them. And speaking of, let's get all 3 of them into their cuboid modes. And we'll get right down to the very proper vehicle mode. Sorry, alt mode. And we're back. If my camera will focus. There we go. Haha. And we're back with the component parts done up into their mode. So, first off, we're going to connect all of the cubes together, like so. Like so. Come on, you. There we go. And look. Now we've got itty bitty camera. Isn't that adorable? So cute. But in reality, you want to take this part here, which is just made up of all 3 of their shields. And you want to take these parts here, the thinner pegs, and you want to plug them in here, here, and then I believe there's a spot underneath. Yes. And then the big piece here will just peg into the crotch. And there you go. There you have them in camera mode. And finally, you can take the tripod with the other version of, or the other thing of these, with all three guns on it to make the tripod. Stick it in here. And here you have them in their wondrous camera mode. And I love this thing. I love it so much. It is so cool. I know there's the third-party version that like makes it so that they're weapons and stuff as well. But you know what? I don't need extra weapons when I got the power of my mind. And we got a friggin' matador on one side, a miner on the other, and this guy who's probably just an accountant in the middle, and then just got caught up on his who just really wanted to take pictures of birds and animals. Like, hey guys, why don't we turn into a camera, and then we can you guys can help me take pictures of my birds. I do not know why I gave him that accent, but I don't care. I think it's funny. So for comparison, we will have him with the other two bots that have real kind of nothing modes, I guess you can call them. Well, sorry, not nothing modes, but have non-vehicular modes. Here we have him with the Autobot Boombox Blaster. And because I don't have the Netflix Soundwave, so we're going to have to make do with this guy. Secondary tiny boombox Soundwave. And yeah, that's basically it. So, we'll put these off to the side. You can't really do comparisons with these guys, because they're, like, you can only ever do it really with the G1 version, and I do not have G1 Reflector, because apparently Hasbro couldn't get the trademark back for Reflector. Fair enough. But yeah, so that was the Transformers Refraktor team. Again, I don't know what they call these guys. I honestly don't. I can't remember for the life of me. But I did get this guy off of Amazon. Pretty cheap too, I think, for like 50 bucks, yeah. And I'm pretty sure I saw on Amazon these things were going for like 70. So, you know, if you guys want this, I would highly recommend it if you're a big fan of, like these kind of spy alt modes and stuff from, like, the G1 cartoon. I would highly recommend it. It is a really fun thing to play around with. And, yeah. Again, you also get 3 figures for, like, 50 bucks. They're all, you know, tiny deluxes, but hey, they're really nice figures, you know? So yeah, those are my thoughts on Refraktor, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And surprisingly, this video was not as long as I thought it was going to be, considering I talked about 3 figures. Of course, all 3 figures are the same, but still, oh well, c'est la vie. Alright guys, again, thank you all so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your days. And I will see you in the next one. Later guys.